What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay podcast, the only podcast where we talk about games. Go ahead, check it. Check it. I guarantee you won't find anybody else. But hey, I'm Adam, a.k.a. CS Radical, joined as always, Kaylan, a.k.a. Catastrophe, and Chris, a.k.a. Whiskey and Chris.
What? I like that better. I like that little swirl thing.
You
that
like
was
that?
way better than my favorite. That was
made that
good.
up on the fly.
That was good. That was
pure
good.
energy. Just so good.
Yeah, I was like, way to one up me because I just pointed at it and you're like, no, let me show him how it's done.
Well, you know, can't always be jazz hands. You gotta mix it up once in a while.
That will always be my number one. The jazz hands. So good. Beautiful.
Well, we are going to be talking, obviously about the games we've been playing, which we will be starting the show off, but Kaylan has a fun thing that's going to segue into something I'll say in my review, because they know ahead of time that I have some thoughts about things. We're going to go over games that have gotten a 10 out of 10 review from everyone's favorite review aggregate place, IGN, and decide...
Too much water.
And decide if they understand what actually a 10 is.
Do they even game?
Well, I mean, as Chris said, you know, in the pre-show that we didn't record, you know, all we need to know is just we want to make sure that the N64 controller was rated a 10 so we can bash it, and then the NES Zapper was a 10 so we can just put it as the gold standard. So
yeah, we can just confirm that it is.
No, we're not going down this again. We've already had this. They can go watch last week's episode. We're not going back down this rabbit hole.
Oh, I go through it in here every day. Every day.
Well, what if we keep bringing it up? That's expecting consistency, Kaylan.
We said we weren't going to talk about this. We said we were done. I've had a week to come to terms. We're not bringing this back up.
I don't recall this contract, actually. Chris, do you remember?
No, I have no contract here at all.
Do you remember this?
Honestly, I think you're both right.
I don't have to be here.
Well, I mean, technically you do. You're the one with the list.
That's true.
Yeah, that'd be a weird episode.
You kind of have to be now. It's your thing. Well, since you are here, what you been up to?
I'm making my way through Saros still. I'm now about halfway through the game, I think. I'm now on like the 4th or 5th biome. It's fantastic. This game is the most video game. Like it's that game where I'm not blinking while I'm doing a run, and I like, you know, when you guys like you're focused and you stop blinking, your eyes burn because they're dried out. That's where I'm at right now with this game, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've got builds going, and like this game does something really cool in terms of difficulty. So after beating the 2nd biome, you have a way where you can like tweak the game and how you want to do it. So like you can do it where you deal more damage, you take less damage, you're dealing with less corruption, which is something that happens, like you lose your health bar as you play, but there's a limit to how much you can do it. And so you can either add challenges to like decrease, you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna lose more resources, for example, which will increase the score of the difficulty so that you can then adjust it and put things to like make it easier. So like basically right now how I have it is you can like have a difficulty of -3, and so doing it like where you take more damage might be like a plus or a -2, and taking more or doing more damage is a -2 as well. So that would be 4, which is too much. But I can have it that when I enter a new biome, I lose one of my shards, which kind of helps me, gives boosts, and that then like balances out that I can have the modifications that I want. So it's a really cool way in how they do it, because we've always had these conversations about intentional games being difficult and like, can you adjust it? And this is a game that does it really well, where I can decide what challenges I want to do and what I want to deal with versus just being told this is the way that the game is played. So from an accessibility and like making it approachable, it's a really clever way that the game does it, and I'm really liking this game. Story's absolute nonsense. I really don't know what's going on. There's like too much of a mystery, and I feel like that's always been a thing with Housemarque games, is that the story's always secondary. And I wish now that they're getting into these bigger games that there was a little bit more of a narrative. But I'm loving it from a gameplay perspective. When I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it, and watching this just makes me want to go back and play it more. And it's nice because you can just log on and do a 30-minute run, get the resources to upgrade your character, and then just move on. Like you never feel like you're wasting it, like if you only have 20 minutes to play. So highly recommend this game so far.
Yeah, I definitely
turns around and be like, this game fucking sucks.
Well, I mean, it could take a turn at like the third like three quarters of the way through, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I like the gameplay loop.
I'm
Now,
just
is there
thinking
a
that-
point in terms of like either skills that you get or weapons that you kind of get as things go on that kind of like really have like improved things or changed your perspective on it since the last time we talked?
Yeah, so like I've gotten now there's like a new one where like you can get like an overdrive kind of thing where after you kill so much like you can kind of do like a massive burst, but you can get like upgrades now so that if I use that burst I get to refill my second life chance, which just basically if I die I get to come back where I'm at in the run. So now I could theoretically now get maybe this third or fourth run in the game, so it's getting easier as I get powered up. So yeah, it's not one of those things where I'm the same character I was when I started, and so I'm finding it's very accessible.
Yeah, so it's definitely a case of you progress even when you die. Like you
Oh
start to
yeah,
just
like no run
slowly-
is wasted.
Whereas Returnal is definitely a case of like, you might make some progress, but it's more of a case of now, okay, you've learned certain patterns and stuff. Okay, now go back, and now this is more of a case of you are growing.
Yeah, I am getting better as a player. Like I'm starting to know what to do, and like I know the weapons and which ones I like, which ones I don't like. But my character is also different from when I started. It's not the same character now. Like I've evolved since I started this from a character perspective and the abilities that I have. And it's nice because you can hit the biomes, and when you hit the biomes, they act as checkpoints. So now I can keep progressing through the game without having to start at the same starting point each time. So once you get to a biome and you beat it, you can return, and there's like backtracking with new powers in order to navigate, but there's not a requirement that every time you die you have to start from World 1, Level 1 kind of thing, if that makes sense.
That does. Cool. I feel like I'm going to cave and buy this, and then the next day we'll podcast together, and Kaylan will be like, oh, I hit the part where it became a shit game. I'll be like, God damn.
Yeah. No, so far it's good. It's funny because I don't
Well, at
hear a
least
lot
you
of
know
people
that
talk
like
about it,
the
but it's
first
good.
couple bits is going to be fantastic. So like
Yeah.
it's not a huge loss.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll consider halfway to be me beating the game.
You'll
Yeah,
be like
I'm
Final
about
Fantasy
10 hours in
15,
the
Chris.
game.
You'll just know when to stop.
True. That's a very good analogy, actually. All right.
What about you,
Well,
Chris? What have you been playing?
So recently, I ended up in the last few days playing a bunch of hours of Helldivers 2, Sonic Racing Crossroads, Spider-Man Remastered, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. All games I've already beaten, but it was because I was actually testing out this bad boy. I was testing out the Steam controller.
You
which
didn't
I'm
try
gonna
with
review.
Balatro?
No, wait. You're not asking the real question, Adam. The real question is, Chris, what did you initially go out and buy that you ended up with a Steam controller?
What?
Yeah, like were you looking for like grapes or something?
I was actually at a midnight launch for a new car, and no, yeah. Oh, the joke will never die. No, I bought it online at 1 p.m. right when it went live. It was sold out
Nice.
in half an hour, and I got it at 1:09. So
Nice.
yeah, I had an alarm set. It was a good thing.
And if you
But-
want to, you can now hit up Chris for a scalpel version of double the price.
No, screw you. It's mine. No, but yeah, there'll be a review on the side quest this Friday, so you can check that out. The only other game I've actually played, because I was spending so much time with the controller and testing it out, is like not much of a game, and I'm not supposed to buy a game, but I caved and bought this on the Switch. I got Picross Capcom Classic.
Nice.
God damn it. Of course I did. And I've done, it's just like the perfect, like, you've been playing all these other games on the TV with the Steam controller and doing all these tests and everything. It's the perfect, like, okay, I'm going to go upstairs, sit with my wife, let her know I'm alive. And while she's watching her show, I can do my little puzzle on the Switch too. But I love Picross. God damn it. And it's funny because they just released a Konami Classics edition, so it's got like Legend of the Mystical Ninja and stuff. I went on and I was going to buy that, and then I saw like 6 months or a year ago they released a Capcom one. So there's like old Street Fighter characters, Mega Man, like all that. I was like, well, now I need this one first. So I dropped the $20 on that game, grabbed it, and started doing so much Picross, just so much Picross. Just, it's so satisfying. It's my favorite. I have so many Picross games on my Switch, and these are all Switch exclusive. Like, it's insane to me that these
They
aren't
understand
available
who's
anywhere
buying
else.
them.
You'd think even on PC they would just throw them on because people would maybe buy them. You cannot get these on PC. They are only
It might just be a
Switch
Japanese
exclusives.
thing, and so that just Nintendo just kind of has that like
maybe
quartered
I don't
quartered
know.
away.
It is true because it's like Capcom and Konami and stuff, and it's usually like there's some games on there in these collections that are very Japanese, never released in like the US. So I'll solve the puzzle and it was really fucking hard because I don't understand the image I was aiming for because it's a game I've never even heard of. But yeah, like I just love this. It's just my happy place. I don't even know if I need video games in my life or if I just need Picross.
You
Like,
just Picross.
just
Is this
need
what you've
it.
been looking for the whole time?
I've just been looking for it, even though I've already
Chris
beaten
lives
like
his life
7 of
one
these.
Picross at a time.
One Picross at a time, yeah. I just love it. I don't have much to say. I'm not going to go into the details of this yet again because if anybody's watched this podcast, I've already done that a million times. But yeah, if you want just something cozy for like $20 when they're full price, go get Picross. You get your money's worth if you like Picross because there's like 150 main puzzles. Then every so often they give you a piece of a puzzle that's one giant image that you have to solve like 15 puzzles to see the one image after at the end. And then they've got like Picross, I don't know, there's like 2 other modes that are like new to this that I haven't even gone into because I actually go through all 150 main puzzles first. Then I go to the super one and then I go do the other modes. Like I fully 100% these games. It's insane how much effort I put into these.
I feel really dumb. I have no idea how this, like, what's going on in this game.
So the numbers show that there are that many blocks. So if you look on the image right now, you'll see the far right top row. There's a 10, a 1, and a 2. So there's 10 blocks together, then at least one space, then one block by itself, at least one space, and then 2 blocks together. The difference is you don't know how many blocks are in between those. So sometimes it's super easy. It'll just say like 15. And there's only 15 blocks. You know that row is full. You just drop a full line there. Sometimes it shows 0. That means there's nothing there. The real hard ones where it's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That means there's 5 individual blocks along that row and some sort of space between each of them. But you're using the top row to go downward and then the left row to go like side to side. And you're kind of looking where you can intersect, like this must be a block, it's the only thing that makes sense, or this must not be a block because that wouldn't make sense because you know it shows a 10 and this one would be right next to that, would make it 11. It can't be 11. There has to be at least one space here, so that cannot be an image. So you're filling in what is an image and what isn't. It's like a weird Minesweeper in a way, but going only with the vertical and horizontal lines. And then in the end it makes a pixelated image. And it starts off small, where it's like a 10 by 10 grid, and then by the time you're on the final one, it's like a 50 by 50 grid, and you're just losing your mind when it's like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It's like
You're
where
just
do I
like,
put
who
anything?
hurt you, game? Who hurt you?
Yeah, but the nice thing is, as you like complete it, it'll get rid of the ones you've done. So if it shows like 10, 1, and 2, and you've put the 10 and you've put the 2, those numbers like fade out, so only the number 1 is left. So you know, like that's all that's missing from that one row. Yeah. It's really good exercise for your brain. That's another benefit. I don't know. I don't have a good fucking brain age since the DS and 3DS where you got to do math problems with the stylus. I loved that. I used to do it every day, and I got my brain so
I'm surprised
young.
it's never made a comeback, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, it shows in society that it's abandoned us.
this is true. I got the brain
Well,
age.
I guess with society, too, it also shows there's no demand for it. So.
There should be I'd like to see a correlation of the brain age decline in the and our intelligence as a society.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I miss that. So Picross is the closest I'm going to get to like really turning my brain to 11. Right before bed, which actually sucks because then I lay there still doing Picross in my head instead of sleeping. I don't know if anybody's ever had that before when you're doing puzzles or solitaire or free cell or something before bed and then you try and sleep but you're still just playing it in your head. That's me. Yeah.
No,
that's
it's just
me.
me with music.
Who hasn't done a free cell before bed?
Okay, fine. It sounds silly when you say it like that, Kaylan.
Adam,
All right, Adam.
what do you bring
What?
to the
I don't
table?
have- I don't have anything to say. What are you talking about?
You started this conversation when we said, what are we saying? With, I have a rant. So, ladies and gentlemen, the floor goes to Adam.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll start off with the review, because that's the easy part. I played Mixtape,
Okay, cool.
and I was very happy to play Mixtape. This is a game that I fully expected to be a pretty chill, fun. I mean, when we saw the trailers initially, like, I had very similar, like, Life is Strange-ish kind of vibes. Like, not to the same, like, drama level, I don't think, or the same, like, high-stakes level that it gets to at certain points of the game. More of just, like, the same kind of, like, vibes, similar to how, like, I know, Chris, you've played True Colors, right?
Oh yeah, love True Colors.
Yeah, so like the more chill parts of True Colors where it's not like really emotional at all, just the very like suburban kind of like random like small town kind of vibe to it, and that's what I kind of felt with this. And that's essentially what Mixtape kind of gives off. Like, it's really just 90s like teenager nostalgia fest and it shows with the soundtrack that they put together. I mean, you got people like Dio, or not, well, I guess Dio because Rainbow's in it, but like Devo and the Smashing Pumpkins, stuff like that. So like the soundtrack was definitely catered for that, like, all these pop people are like a bunch of posers kind of, 90s kids. You know that these kids were like just about ready for Nirvana when they were coming in. So like, because I think this game takes place in like, I want to say 93, I think it is. Like, it's early 90s for sure. But, like, the whole gist of this game is just you are playing the role of a teenage girl who's about to leave her small town, leave all her friends behind to go to New York. And just, like, it's the last day before this happens. So it's just a series of small, like, short stories that go on during the case, which is partially, like, her remembering stuff that she did when she was a little bit younger with her group of friends, obviously things that are going through her own head. Like, a lot of it's, very in that interactive not visual novel, but like interactive novel sort of deal where you're mostly just playing out the story as it's going to you. There's not really that many fail states. Like right now on the video version of this show, like you're seeing them just skateboarding. The closest thing to a fail state is this. Like, if you crash into something, it just rewinds.
I was going to say, what happens if you hit the car?
Sends it back.
That's what I'm dying to know.
Yeah, like, you just rewind. Like, the game just goes, all right, dumbass, like, go and just, be a normal person and skateboard in a straight direction, So, it's nothing too crazy there. There are, like, fun little mini games that they happen, like, and most of them are, like, just chill, like, not ASMR, but just, like, relaxing sort of things. Like, there's one where it's literally just while the characters are talking to each other, you're just skipping rocks in first person kind of deal. Like, it's meant to be cozy in the best way possible. The closest thing to intense I can think of is there's a part where you are trying to escape the police on a shopping cart, so you're just steering around the neighborhood in a shopping cart to Rainbow, and it's fucking great. But I there's not a whole lot to say in terms of the gameplay, which is part of the rant that I'll give shortly, but like, it's an interactive novel in every shape and of what it actually is. Like, it's just you kind of playing it out. The story is really good. I think it clicks very well, even though I wasn't a teenager then, but it still clicks with that kind of thing of moving out. Like, I moved to a new place when I was 13, near the tail end of elementary school, so it has a similar kind of vibe to I'm leaving a whole bunch of people behind that I knew, and thinking that things are never going to be the same. It's also that same thing of, like, I'm sure a lot of people when they went off to college had a similar feeling to this, where it's like, oh, you're going, especially if you're like, we're in the States, there's much more of a commonplace, I think I find, with going to like a much further away university. Because here in Canada, like, it's not as common, I don't think. I think most of the time, like, you're going to something relatively close to you, like within like an hour or two drive. Like, maybe some people are going like a few hours away if they're going to, like, say if you live in the GTA area and maybe you go to, like, I don't know, like a Fanshawe in London or something like that. So, like, there are cases where that happens, but I find it's way more of a common thing that people in the States will go like states away to go to college, especially if you're looking for something very specific in a much higher end field. So, so there's a lot of emotions there that prey on it. Obviously, the soundtracks being very 80s and 90s coded are always going to hit well with our generation. I think that's kind of like a guarantee too. I mean, I don't know every single band that gets brought up. Some of them I've never heard of before in my life. But all of us are Canadians, so we can all sit there and go, well, if anybody who is Canadian knows radio DJ Alan Cross, I don't think he has anything to do with this, but it feels like his fingers were all over this because it's all the stuff that he would have put on in his radio show. Because, like, you have Joy Division, you have Devo, you have, like, bands like that where you're like, if he's not here, someone, like, has been listening to his podcast for years and went, okay, those guys, all right, let's look at a soundtrack of all that together. And it's fantastic. And a lot of the jokes, I think, are very funny. I think a lot of the, like, stoner humor is very funny. It does play on that bit of, like, okay, these kids are fucking stupid, and they have no idea what the hell they're doing. But That's exactly what I was when I was 18. So what the fuck? Like, I have to vibe with this really, really well. And then just some of the absurdities, like, there's definitely the classic when they get high, like everything is now in wavelengths and they're like floating around and all. Like, it's very much similar to like how you see like that 70s show treat a lot of the times when the kids get high. Like, there's all that kind of vibe to it. But all in all, like, the only thing that I would say that I would put against it, I mean, this is still a 10 out of 10 to me, which is partially why the rant's going to happen, is that the ending isn't satisfying.
I like who's building up to this rant.
Like, the ending isn't satisfying, but that's supposed to be the case. Like, when you end the game, like, you realize, oh, right, it's not supposed to be a fairy tale ending. It's supposed to be something that is way more realistic into what actually would happen with you leaving town, right? So, like, for those that are going to be expecting, like, and maybe it's a spoiler that I just said here, but, like, I don't think you go into a game like this and suddenly go, oh, it's going to turn to, like, this massive dramatic ending that, oh my god, like, everything all comes together, there's a gigantic hug and brouhaha, and, but, like, no, like, people change, things end. Like, that's real life. So, similar to, other games that kind of have that kind of vibe to it, where the ending is very unsatisfying, but it also does ring true to the story it's trying to tell. So I think it does all of that very well. The animation I think is really cool because it has this very similar to how like the Spider-Verse movies go, where it has that like off frame rate, so it feels very much like old school animation. It definitely does feel like an MTV video game if MTV was making games in the 90s kind of thing, right? So like, it vibes with all of that very well. It feels like they're just putting a 90s music video on screen for you, and it's just a 4-hour music video. That's really what it is, if we're being perfectly honest here. But like, it's $20. If it's something that you're okay with, a game that's only going to take 3 to 4 hours of your time, and you, especially if you're somewhere in that 80s, 90s nostalgia vibe that you're going for, like if you're somebody who's like 18 now, you probably will still find some stuff to associate with, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder to associate with it if you're not at least close to those times. So like, especially the soundtrack too, like you may not vibe the same way, but like for those our age, of our vintage, if we want to really do the old words, this is a perfect setup for us. It really does hit everything that I wanted to. And I don't care, and here's where the rant starts. I don't care.
Before we get into that, like, this game looks cool. Like, the story seems appealing to me and stuff, but like, for me, the deterrent is this. Like, this to me doesn't feel like a game. Like, I feel like, I haven't played like that. No,
well, no, that's perfect. That does segue to the rant. So yeah, go for it.
So this is my question for you. Like, what is the gameplay loop? Like, is it just walking around and interacting with what you see? Like,
well, there are like your traditional walking sessions that you would see in like a Life is Strange or stuff, but it does segment into some, like, I almost want to say they go in between mini games and then these walking sections.
Okay.
Like, it's not, there's no like, I mean, obviously there's not gonna be shooting and stuff, but like, there's not like races or shooting sections or like fighting or anything. Like, it's really just it's very chill. Most of it's going to be these walking around and just talking and a lot of cutscenes and any sort of gameplay in between. Like I said, there's a section where you're just briefly darting down the streets of a suburb, trying to like run the cops, and you're in a shopping cart. Or there are skateboarding sections, but like there's, again, like I said, there's no fail state. Like, it's more of just a vessel for the dialogue and the story that they're telling. So like, it's not going to be anything that you're going to look at and be like, oh, like the gameplay loop is really solid. It's not meant to be. It's meant to just be a story that you are progressing yourself through.
So you're here for the story. This is not like, and don't put me these words, but it's not a video game in the sense of like you're there to play it. It's a story that you're meant to experience.
Like I said, it's almost like you're just controlling a music video.
Okay, cool.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's, like, anything that I would consider to be, like, AAA gameplay in it. You know what I mean? Like, this is very much, like, when you're playing a Life is Strange game and it's just you walking around looking at stuff, they talk about certain things, you talk to the NPCs or whatever. That's basically the entire game for the most part. Like, there's not really anything outside of that. So, that's where I stand on it. So, the whole thing of it's not a game, this is where I started getting really pissed off about stuff. Because where have these people been for the last, I don't know, 15 years when Life is Strange has existed, when games like Blueprints kind of has a game loop, but a lot of it's really just walking and puzzle solving. But like The Witness and all these games like this, like those are all games in their own right. Some of them have more puzzle elements than others, but like Life is Strange is essentially just an interactive novel, like anything like this is, and no one said a peep about it. And it's one of those things where it feels like. Okay, I'll say this too. I'm very thankful that for the most part, I mean, depending on what corner of the internet you're on, I'm sure if you're on 4chan, they're talking about this all day. But like, I'm at least happy that it's not a woke conversation that's going on about this game, because they're definitely you could easily see where people would want to put that into this, but thankfully we're not going nearly in that direction. It seems like the core of the argument. And I'll also say this, I'm not going to go too in-depth on my rant here because I do actually have a much longer extended rant that I've already posted. Actually, by the time we're recording this, it's already probably online my personal channel, which is just CS Radical on YouTube, because it's like almost 30 minutes. So it's way more detailed.
Wait, you've got other channels?
Yeah, I do. I know, it's amazing.
I thought we were the only one.
But the core that I seem to see with this is that people are just really upset that this is getting a 10, while other games that I guess they would consider more like games, like Crimson Desert, an example that I see a lot of people bringing up, is a 6 on IGN. And I go, I get it, but we're also talking about a review by one person who generally is being put in charge of reviewing certain kinds of games. Because, like, I'm not sure the person that is reviewing Mixtape would be playing a game like a Crimson Desert or an Elden Ring or whatever else. Because the thing that pisses me off the most is that people are saying, oh, so you guys think it's as good as Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild or all the old games. I'm like, no, you fucking moron. I'm just saying it's a really fucking great game and I like it a lot. It's like my favorite game that I played so far this year. And I don't use 10s as meaning it's a game of the year and like a game that needs to be put in a fucking museum for everyone to see. I'm just saying I love this fucking game. That's it. And I think that conversation again of how everybody uses review scores needs to come up into play again, because I understand that not everybody's going to look at an 8 the same way that I'll look at an 8, or look at a 5 the way that, well, I guess most review aggregates look at a 5, because apparently 5 means it's the worst game ever made these days. But like, I don't understand why a person who apparently doesn't like this game and will never play this game is mad that it got a 10, and a game that they love and would say is a 10 got an 8 somewhere else. To me, it's just, so you're mad the game that you like didn't get the rating that this game got. Is that really what it is? Because if there's a larger conversation to be had, I'm not necessarily hearing it outside of, well, we all know that the industry, is going to potentially give people bonuses or even keep their jobs because of what review scores are. To which I go, that's not the fucking reviewer's problem. That is the industry's problem. Fucking talk to them. Tell the companies that are firing people and holding their bonuses back from them that they're the fucking problem. Don't go to IGN or any other random reviewer on YouTube or wherever else and go, you're a fucking idiot for thinking Mixtape is on the same level of Elden Ring. They're not saying that.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. I feel like people forget that, like, What Remains of Edith Finch. Do you guys remember that game?
Yep.
That's
yep.
just
That was a big
purely
controversy for a while.
That's a walking simulator where you, like, see a story play out, and it has an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam with, like, 40,000 people voting it a 5 out of 5. And it's just like, yeah, that just means people really, really like that game.
Like, does that mean that it means it's as much of a game as, say, at the time, like, I don't know what would have been around at that time, but let's say like a BioShock? No, I don't think anybody's saying that. All we're saying is in the moment, this game's really fun. This game's really good. If you want to have the argument if it's not a game, I mean, sure, fine. Also enjoy the tongue gameplay.
Good God. Good God.
Because that's a thing. Again, the humor that it throws in is great. I fucking love it. For those that aren't listening to the audio version, it's also those people are making fun of. There's a French kissing thing that they do as a joke in this. Just to
for those of you who are watching the video,
how gross kissing is to teenagers.
Oh. For those of you who are audio listeners, you dodged a bullet this week.
This is the day to get on YouTube. This was the episode.
So I think the problem is how we look at review aggregates and how we look at review, like, gaming journalism in the sense. Because what people say is IGN gave it a 10. Oh, GameSpot gave it a 6. The problem is that IGN didn't give it anything. The reviewer gave it. And I think this is one of the problems that we as a gaming industry have to kind of overlook, is that it's not a hive mind that is IGN that did it, but rather a reviewer within IGN. And this is partially IGN's problem as well, in that it shouldn't be tied to the magazine, it shouldn't be tied to the website, but rather to the reviewer. And one of the problems with IGN is that, like, I feel like there's a lot of reviewers and they don't necessarily have a big enough persona that I know, reviewer A from reviewer B. I know a couple people.
That's the argument, right? Like, I don't know why people look at a site like an IGN and take it like it's gospel for anything. Because
but what I'm
it's
saying,
a team of people. Whereas, like, if you have a reviewer that you focus on, like, it makes more sense to go off of what a single person is saying at all times rather than what an entire website of like a team of like 20, 30 reviewers might be doing.
But I think this is the problem, is that like IGN needs to build out their reviewers' personas more, so that way I know, a Matt from a Stacy in terms of who's reviewing what, and I can then relate that. Like, I mean, like, I've got my movie reviewers who I know from like their personas, where it's like, I know if this person doesn't like this movie, I'm going to like it because we have different interests. And similarly, like, if this reviewer likes the movie, I'm going to like the movie because we have similar tastes. That's a problem that IGN has, is that they've not built these curated sort of reviewers that I can know, who this person is and what kind of video game they like. And I think that's part of the reason why people like us and like more successful, but like equally like talented people like Moist Critical and stuff exist, where who he is, what his tastes are, and that, or Carrick from ACG, where it's like who they are, what they like and what they don't like, and then you can kind of either attach yourself to the ones that have similar taste, or take someone who you disagree with and use that to make a better judgment. But the problem is, when we see reviews from IGN, it's just like, it's not clear we just go with IGN gave it this score, and it's not attached to the person and their persona and their taste. And I think that's part of the problem. But that also seems
like a case of, how we vote with our wallet with things, of like, we don't want to support certain things. If we all collectively agree that we shouldn't be taking IGN seriously, why the fuck are we giving them the traffic? Like,
I'm not saying we shouldn't take IGN seriously.
No, but it's the part of like, everybody looks at like, oh, well, IGN gave it this. Like, we have friends in Chris and I in a Discord where they'll constantly put up their review scores, and it's like, why is it always them? Like, it's not, like, we know it's not important. What's the point? So, like, I look at, because I've mentioned him a couple of times on this, and I even mentioned him in my rant that I did too, with Yahtzee, Ben Croshaw, where, like, I take a lot of what he says as not necessarily gospel, but it's a pretty good leading for me, because we seem to agree on a lot of different things with stuff. So, it's stuff like that where I'm like, when everybody is like, well, IGN gave it this, or GameSpot gave it this, or Push Square gave it this, where it's like, so, like, it's not the, like, and again, it's also the part of, okay, well, it's one review. Well, the aggregate seems to indicate that a lot of people are enjoying this, and the fact that they're still upset about that. So it almost sounds like they're trying to do this conspiracy theory thing of like, well, the industry's trying to tell us that we need to play this. And I'm like, well, maybe, but if that's the case, then aren't we all in agreement that, like, Mixtape is probably not the game to target for this then? Because games like, I don't know, FIFA, Call of Duty, all these things exist where the industry's really pushing hard for that. Like, this is a fucking $20 indie game that literally is it's just a stupid, chill little teenage nostalgia fest, right? It seems like it's the thing of, I even said in my rant, it feels like this is just the game that came out during a time when people were the most vulnerable and finally just cracked. Like, I don't feel like this game is anything specific that caused this. It's just because this happened to be the one that got really good reviews, and they just decided, all right, you know what, fuck it, that's the last straw, now we're going. Like, I don't think this game did anything in particular.
Yeah. By the way, just watching this. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm side railing.
You wanted to talk about the cutscene. Go for it. Stop being so damn Canadian.
I'm watching this gameplay, and this game is totally not for me.
Good. We never agree on anything. That's why some people will listen to me and some people will listen to you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nobody listens to Chris because Chris has no takes.
I like it. I like this game and want to play it. I think my
Pick
wife
a side,
would
Chris.
like it. I think my wife would like it. I kind of want to play with her watching.
Well, I mean, I would say straight off, too, like, this is a game that definitely people that aren't traditionally gamers would probably be super into.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm thinking.
Because it's not a demanding game. Like, I'm going to show my girlfriend this easily. Because A, it's short, and B, like I said, there's no fail states really. So like the stress levels for her is going to be way low. So like there's no complaints there. It's just I'm finally at the point where, and you know it because it took me almost 2 years to put a video up on my personal channel. The last time I posted anything over was August 2024. So it's finally at a point where like I'm just getting really sick and tired of this elitist bullshit again, because it crops up every so often where people just go, it's bullshit that this game is getting a high rating and not. Dude, I've been spending the last like 10 years seething inside that games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls are getting every bit of attention, or your Fortnites or all this stuff. I hate the fact that those are the ones that are popular. I mean, obviously, people got the gist of that when I finally cracked a little bit at the games, or not the games, the Summer Game Fest that I was just miserable for the entire time because it was like the streamer trailer show. And like, yeah, I did say like, yeah, it is kind of upsetting that the stuff that was being shown off there wasn't really ever for me. But this is one game. We're talking about one game. Not a 2-hour fucking video fest. We're talking about one game. And even if this game gets like, nominees, because I think that's their fear, is that this game's going to get Game of the Year nominees, to which I go, yeah, I don't think it deserves it either, even though I'm giving it a 10. I don't think this should be getting a nominee for Game of the Year. I think a Best Indie Award would be a fair nomination right now, given what's out there. But, like, if this got Game of the Year nominees, yeah, I'd be a little sus on that, and then now we can come back and have this argument again. Okay, cool. But, like, just the review score itself is making them think like it's some addictive problem with the industry that they're trying to shove these down our throats. No, they're fucking not. It's a $20 indie game, guys. Calm the fuck down. Holy shit.
Adam rants.
He gets so fired up.
Not everything is about the fucking hardcore gamer audience. Do you understand that once in a while a game needs to be made for somebody fucking else?
Yes.
He gets so fired up.
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
I know I'm heated because I'm warm now. I'm now a little bit warm.
Oh, yeah.
Adam needs to take a walk.
He's literally
Pop an
fired
Advil.
up. Getting heat.
Well,
But yeah, no, like I genuinely do think this game's good. Like I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's as good as an Uncharted 4, right? Or a Mass Effect 2, even though Kaylan doesn't think it's that great. But or a Final Fantasy 6 or 7 remake, or like I can go off the board with so many different things. Like I'm not going to compare it to the two, and that's maybe just because that's how I view reviews. Like I don't give something a 10 before going through my entire catalog of games that I played in my life and said, well, I gave that an 8 when I played it, so I guess I can't give this a 10 now. No. In the moment, I went, I really fucking love this game. I don't really have much to complain about it with. So, like, yeah, it's a 10 to me. Like, I guess maybe I use those scores more flippantly than people would like, or maybe reviewers are using that score more flippantly when we all know that, like, IGN is basically the 8-9 machine. So, I don't know, maybe it's just a collection of things all coming together, but, like, the general reaction that I've seen from people about this game has been so fucking insane to me, because they're acting like this is, like, the most like shoved down our throats game that we've ever seen in our lives. And I'm like, dude, Concord was worse than that, and it died in 2 weeks. Like, let's fucking relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to remember this game in about 2 weeks.
The nice thing is, I bet you their sales got boosted because of all this controversy. Some people probably bought it just
that was
to
the other
see
thing.
it.
They were showing, the peak player count on Steam for this was like 2,000. I'm like, so? I don't think that means the game can't get a 10.
Yeah, that's probably...
It's like there are
means the
games that
developer made
are
money.
overwhelmingly positive on Steam that don't have that high a player count. Like that's a thing that exists, guys.
Yeah.
It's just that conversation of, like I said before, like we need to go back and just understand that, like, again, I thought art was supposed to be subjective, and then we were trying to put games in the artist, like the games are art thing. Like again, I walk into a museum and I can look at a painting and go, I don't fucking get it. But I also don't
go to museums.
So I don't go to a museum and look at a piece of art and go, I don't fucking get it. And then look at the next person who's like just wowed and go, well, that person's a fucking idiot. I just go,
10 out of 10 painting.
Not for me, and walk away.
Van Gogh, more like Van don't.
Sega does what Van don't.
But yeah, I'm way more
Beautiful.
detailed for a 25-minute thing on my channel. So if anybody wants to see me get even extra angry, you can go there too. Cool.
I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I need to see more.
Well, since it's the hot button topic this week, I figured we could dunk on the rest of IGN and their top 10 list. So I know, I'm just kidding. What I did do, though, is consider we were talking about IGN and their top 10 games. I figured it'd be fun for us to go through the list of every top 10 that they've given.
Every 10 out of 10, you mean?
Every modern game IGN has given a 10. What did I say?
You said top 10.
All right, sorry. Every modern game IGN has given a 10 out of 10. This is coming from IGN. We can kind of go through it, talk about ones that we're surprised by.
All right, so The Last of Us, incorrect. Worst game ever.
We can get there. Don't.
I know Last of Us Part 2 had a 10, so that's going to be on there.
So the most recent one before Mixtape was Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. That's the DLC for Elden Ring.
Doesn't surprise me.
I mean, again, like I said, it's not for me, but based on the general reaction of the public, yeah, I kind of get it.
I think
I liked Elden Ring. I don't care enough to go back and play a DLC.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Because, like, I'm going to try, there's going to finally be a game where I crack a little bit and be like, all right, no, I don't fucking care about this opinion. No, it's wrong. But eventually I'm going to be like, I'm trying really hard to be consistent where look, it might not be my thing, but that doesn't mean that that somebody else can't say it is, right?
No, Adam, we're working towards the hive mind. We all have to agree on everything.
This is true.
Well, all right, well, I'll wait for you to become a JRPG lover too then, buddy. Because you're down 2-1, so you're not winning that opinion.
The next one they have on the list is the 2024 review of Stardew Valley.
Oh,
Stardew Valley feels like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, like that's like one of the best.
I don't think it
games
was.
ever made,
Yeah,
honestly.
like that's up there.
Well, I mean, apparently, if player count means something, I think Stardew Valley qualifies pretty well for that.
I've bought it twice and played.
Doesn't surprise me, Chris. Doesn't surprise me. No one is banking for a unified console than Chris is.
Well, I mean, of all people, though, it makes sense for Chris. He is the Harvest Moon guy.
True.
Yes, and I had it on PC, and there was no Steam Deck, so I bought it on Switch so I could have a portable. Okay, there you go. There's the story.
I feel like the Switch before you had Steam Deck was the way to play it.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, Chris was going to the store for eggs, and then eventually realized, oh, there's a copy of this game on Switch. I have to get it now.
Actually, no, I was at the midnight launch for the Steam Link, right? I'm not kidding.
The next one they had was in December of 2023. This is for Asgard's Wrath 2. I hadn't heard of this game, but it's a VR game, like a full-fledged VR open-world RPG that supposedly is really good. Yeah, I know none of us have like the Oculus, so we didn't play it. No. Next is in August of 2023, Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh, see, there's a lot of praise
given that it won
that.
a Game of the Year, I guess.
Yeah, this is a hard one. This is an ambitious title, but I think there's a problem with Baldur's Gate 3 that could be made for the beginning of that game. It does not onboard well, and it's very cumbersome to like.
I know. I failed 3 times to get anywhere deep into this
game.
So, like,
if it's not a 10, it's close to it, but I think there are some gripes that can be made with that game.
Well, I mean, but we can make the argument. Well, it won a Game of the Year. So, like, it by that logic, it is. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10. That just means it's the best game of that year. It may not be a 10 out of 10 year.
When you're surrounded by fives,
if there is
you
an
can be a
entire
perfect
year
6.
where there's no game that would be a 10 out of 10,
life.
oh my god, that year is terrible. I think even the COVID year, you could justify at least one getting a 10.
Kaylan broke me. He wins.
Next is May of 2023. 2023 was a banger year for 10s. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I've talked about this game before. This is like
we're in the same boat. I don't get it, but
yeah, I know. I agree. Like it should have got an 11.
Of course you.
No,
did.
hot take. I don't think it's a necessarily a perfect 10. I think it's a 9. Like it's a very high scoring game. It not being a perfect 10, I can see that.
I've angered the internet
this
enough with my comments.
This is the first one that comes up where I'm like, you know what? I think I can make a pretty good argument to at least take a point off.
Yeah. It's like, it does some cool stuff. There's tons of content, me talking about my opinions on the new Legend of Zelda games. I think Tears of the Kingdom is the better of the two between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But I think that gets a huge bump from the name Zelda. I don't think this is like a be-all, end-all game.
Wait, that was a Legend of Zelda game?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I know, shocking.
Next, once again, 2023, Resident Evil 4.
I mean,
see
remakes. So
the
like,
remake, yeah.
I mean, it was a 10 out of 10 game when it first came out. So I mean, it's more consistency than anything else.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I'm now
It's
having
also
memories.
arguably like the best of what that series ever was. So
I remember us doing like our PixelPlay awards and stuff for 2023 and the game awards for that year, and I'm now remembering how good that year was for games. 2023 was so good.
2023 was a banger. Where was I? Lost my spot. Next, we have Resident Evil 4. Did I mention that already?
That's the
yeah, we
last one.
literally just did
Okay,
that.
sorry. Yeah.
You
Next,
really did
once
lose
again,
a spot.
I did. I scrolled down for a second. Next one, once again, 2023 is the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania.
Oh, Dead Cells is
right.
such a good game. Dead Cells is like a perfect Metroidvania. Like I love it so much. I can see if you're a lover of Metroidvania, it's top tier, one of the best ones. And then they actually partnered with real Castlevania, like with Konami, to get that in there, and it just like made it even better. So I can see how that one. Would
Yeah, like
be
I'm not familiar
reviewed
with it
that
at all,
way.
but it's similar. Like I from the crowd that plays these kind of games, like it's up there with like your Hollow Knights and such too. So
It's like that, but it has like to me, it's way better. It's got accessibility features where you can make yourself like more powerful and the enemies more weak and stuff like that. And it's just beautiful. Yeah. So I can see that one personally.
Yep. Next one is, once again, still in 2023, Metroid Prime Remastered.
That was a really good remaster. I did really like that.
I don't really have an opinion per se when we're talking just like remasters and remakes for the most part.
Yeah, it's tough
Because I
it's
mean,
like
it's getting that nostalgia bump too, which is
yeah. It was a very well done remaster. It ran perfectly, even on the original Switch. And I guess like if you take it like the original Metroid Prime is like pretty damn good, and it is like a near perfect 10 game. So I can see how it would keep that 10 out of 10 across to the remaster.
Yeah. And then moving in, we move to the next year, 2022, Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah,
Which one was that?
That was like the top-down one where you're building like a fortress.
As
It's
a
a PC
dwarf.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll pull it up if you see it.
It's probably in my backlog. I actually don't know.
Probably. So while you're looking up that one, Adam, so like I was looking at it too because like I've heard of it, but I didn't play it. But it's like a very like basic looking kind of top-down game.
I was gonna say like even just graphic wise, it kind of gives me like almost RPG Maker sort of like
Yeah.
yeah. It's definitely more of a. Yeah, no wonder
I
I
didn't
haven't
play it.
heard of this one.
I didn't play it. Another one I heard of but I didn't play was Pentiment in 2022. That's the one
Yeah.
that looks like an old like
I played that.
medieval thing. How was it?
It was
Was it a 10
fun.
out of 10?
No, I wouldn't give it a 10 and 10 at all. Like I thought it was very funny. It felt like like an animated Monty Python episode. Like
That's the vibe I get from it.
yeah, and it was very funny, extremely funny. But I mean, I wouldn't make it a 10 out of 10 unless
Yeah.
it's like it won best indie game. Sure, like I could see something like that. Funniest game of the year, could see that. But yeah, like
It is also where it goes to like when you're talking about indie games getting that too. Like again, it's where it's that comparison. Like people are trying to do this thing, like I said with Mixtape and games like Elden Ring. Like they're not the same thing. Like there's going to be a different outlook on it. Like you look at a game like say like Braid, which did very well, or Fez. Like
oh, I
how do you
love Fez.
compare those against games like that were being made by the AAA industry at the time, right? Like
No, for sure.
Or even Balatro to the games that were being made out in the same year that came out. Like it's not a fair comparison to do.
Yeah, it's just if I were to compare it to other indie games that came out around that time, I wouldn't put this as high as other. Indie
Yeah, I think I could come across stuff from that year too that I would put above it, but
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Pentiment was like an 8 or a 9 for sure. It's just like that perfect 10. Like there was parts
Yeah.
in the story and in the gameplay where I was like, I had to go find something, and it was like kind of boring because there was like a huge amount of backtracking and stuff. Where it's like, my character walks so stupid and slow. Like, why do I have to backtrack? That's annoying.
like it's definitely one of those games where it's like it's good, but I can nitpick it enough to at least take a point.
yeah.
off.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Next one on the list is once again from 2022. This is God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, I don't think I would put it that high either.
No, I don't. I agree.
In fact, I would put it as an 8 because like I don't even know if I put the reboot to be a 10 either. I think it's really good. I don't know if I put it
I think
that
the
high.
reboot is a 10 out of 10, But
I think you can make a case for that. Ragnarok, I don't think you can at all.
Ragnarok, I think, just suffered from just over promise, or like what it promised versus what it delivered. Like it was a way too, like it was a long game, and you have Ragnarok, like the final showdown of all the gods.
Rush the end so bad.
Nothing happens. You don't see the wars happen. You just basically have one fight with like Odin, which is kind of anticlimactic to begin. Like it is the end of the world, and it kind of is lackluster.
It really does feel like they should have just made a third game.
Yeah.
And then the third game be actual Ragnarok.
Like you should have stopped around the point of like when I can't remember who the first person from like up there from like Valhalla did you actually like kill. I don't want to say the name either because I don't want to potentially spoil people because it is still somewhat newish.
2022.
But like that would be a half decent point to be like, oh, you've started shit now, Kratos, and then that can start the lead in.
Well, it reminds me of like, think of God of War 3 and how epic that, like, you started off by killing like Poseidon, right? And you didn't stop for the entire game. And I feel like that felt more like a Ragnarok situation than Ragnarok did.
Yeah, like it felt like the stakes were not nearly where they should have been. And like for that, like if you can poke that many holes into a story, like 10 is not the right answer.
No.
And I don't feel like it did much more from what like God of War did.
Apart from the squirrel,
spear?
which was the best part.
Oh, the scroll. The scroll.
the scrolls. Freaking great.
But then you got the elephant riding segment, which is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. Next, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but Elden Ring's on here. I think Elden Ring's a 10 out of 10. It's a fantastic game. Super accessible.
I may not get it, but I can see the polish that's there.
I agree with Adam on this one.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Next is Forza Horizon 5 from 2021.
I mean, they're some of the most fun you can have playing a racing
Honestly,
game. So.
like my
people
favorite,
still talk about it.
Yeah,
like
it's
to the
my
point that when
modern-
6 finally launches, I mean, if it's part of the new Game Pass that I'm getting with Nitro soon, I'm getting a racing wheel immediately for that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's my favorite modern franchise. Like it jumped right up there with 5's release. I loved it.
Nice.
I think it's
Like I put that up with like the burnouts of like the PS2 era. Like there's so much fucking fun.
Oh yeah,
Cool. Next in 2021, my game of the year from 2021, Deathloop. I think Deathloop's
The fact
a 10
that
out of 10.
people think that doesn't deserve a 10 is insane to me.
yeah. I never played
The
it,
amount of
but
people that hate on that game, I don't know why.
Chris, if you like Dishonored, you need to play Deathloop. It's like Dishonored with a cool roguelite puzzle aspect to it. Like it's one of the most creative things we've had in a first-person shooter.
I mean,
Yeah,
now
I'd
that
say
we know
probably
Chris
10
really
years.
enjoyed Dishonored and the other types of games that he's played, because I know, Chris, you're a big Binding of Isaac guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely
to
are
play
okay with
Deathloop.
roguelites. Yeah, you will fucking adore Deathloop.
Yeah,
Okay. So it has a death loop, you would say.
Maybe.
very much so.
I don't want to spoil it.
Next is still from 2021, Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. I know
Another
people
game
like
that
this
I
game.
don't get, but I fucking totally understand why people do.
Yeah, like I don't get
Like,
it.
you
I
want
tried
to talk about a
playing
game that does your decisions matter right? That game does it
Yes.
right.
And that's why I was going to say it deserves a 10. Because I don't get it, and it's like you got to get through a gate to go look at a dead body or something, and there's like 20 different ways you can get through the gate, and some are good and some are bad. And it's cool, but it's just not for me. But I do understand why, if you're into that genre, 10 out of 10 for sure.
You know when a game must be really fucking good when so many people are trying to copy it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to find out very shortly how they follow up to it, because Zero Parades, I think, is out next week.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah, I
Either
think
next
so.
week or the week after. I think it's like
There's
the
too many
21st or
games.
something.
Too many games.
Always.
Next is from 2020, Spelunky 2.
Not a
played
Spelunky guy,
Spelunky
but I
1.
get it.
I like the first one. Mm-hmm. I never played the second one.
I don't have an opinion either way on this one, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think you have an opinion on the next one either. Crusader Kings 3.
It's an RTS. I definitely can't. I mean, I have one friend who is really deep into them, and he loves that series, so I can kind of see it.
Cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I feel like this one kind of deserves it. Like that is a epic kind of. Does
I mean,
everything.
given how it was able to pull off like the actual graphics of it, I'm already impressed.
on a
with that,
console
so.
for the first time, because it was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like a PC exclusive, and all of a sudden they announced it was going to be on the Xbox Series for the first time, and it's like, first, how with a controller? You guys made it so complicated, but it ran really well and it looked beautiful. I would just load that game up and like you could just automatically be in a plane already over like Bora Bora, and it's like a screensaver that you just get to play with. Like that's it. But
like, there's such a great comparison too of like that game is a 10 out of 10, and nobody seems to question it. But like that game is so far away from what we traditionally call a game, right?
It's not even a game; it's a simulator. It says so right there.
it's right in the name. It's crazy. But agreed.
Controversial one: Last of Us Part 2.
Great game.
I believe the first game deserves a 10. The second game, I'm like at a 9. I think it's
agreed.
great, but I'm still going through Last of Us Part 2. Like I didn't talk about it on the podcast, but like I played a bit this week and last week. Like I only just got to Abby's story because it just feels so long. Like I keep playing this game and I'm just like still in it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm only about halfway. I think it's just too long. Like there's too much for a single game.
Yeah.
Compared to the first one, which is the perfect length.
It's
perfect.
some say the perfect game, really.
Yes, some do say.
I mean, like I
podcast.
said, in all seriousness, I may not get it, but like, because I just don't understand why people want to play a really long game that's just constantly stressing you out. But then again, you know, Chris plays Pilatro endlessly, so I guess what do I know?
It's good for you. It's cards.
But yeah, like it's one of those games that even like, despite my hatred for the series, I look at that game and see all the footage that I've seen of it, and I go, no, the polish in that game is fucking tremendous. And even despite the fact that the last few things that Naughty Dog has done, I could care less about, I'm still very interested in Intergalactic. So,
Yes, me too.
I think for me, Last of Us Part 2 nails it on every aspect except story. And I think that's one of the key
which is kind of
aspects.
important to it.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
That's kind of the crux of Last of Us is the story. And not to say the story's bad. I'm not going down that road. I'm not having
No,
this
but it's
argument.
woke, Kaylan.
But that's not my problem with the story. My problem is with the setup in terms of how that story is conveyed. The narrative choices that they use to deliver that story is the problem. Story is absolutely fine. I think it's like there's nothing wrong in terms of the content of what that story is. It is the choices they made and how they delivered it affected the pacing of that game.
Yeah, the pacing is off.
Yes.
Off.
Yeah. Next, 2020's Overwatch. I mean, it started this cancerous hero shooter.
Yeah, it started a bunch of other 10 out of 10s that have clearly shown up.
Killed a couple studios, too.
Side note, did anybody see the new character that got put into Marvel Rivals?
No.
What is
It's
it?
a
The
fucking dinosaur.
devil dinosaur or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur with a fucking laser, essentially. It's fucking great.
It's great, but I feel like it's no longer Marvel anymore. It's just
Who cares?
random shit.
They're scraping the bottom of the bucket.
Marvel Tokon still has fighters to announce. Where's my Howard the Duck?
Oh, I love Howard the Duck. I actually hope he's in it.
Staying with 2020, Persona 5 Royale?
Yup.
I don't know how.
I'm going to say as a Persona 3 completionist, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I have to assume it's a 10 out of 10.
Cool.
As the actual JRP King, yeah.
Adam, you don't have to speak for me. I can speak for myself. Yes, I agree. It's a 10 out of 10. I just said that.
Bro, until you play all the Trails games, I don't want to hear from you.
It's going to be a while, okay? Just be patient.
Well, the crown will be sitting here happy waiting for you.
I don't even want it anymore.
Next one, still within 2020, Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can see that.
considering it's arguably the best VR game that's ever been made at this point.
The thing that I have heard is that it ruins all other VR games because you play it and it's just so well made for VR, and then you go play anything else in VR and you're like, what is this shit? What is this shit? Yeah, it looks so.
In fact, that you could argue that's an 11 at this point, Ben.
Yeah.
true.
Next in 2018, we have Red Dead Redemption 2.
someone who
Yes, I
owns
will
the
say
game.
I can poke enough holes in it, but I'd still, in the end, give it a 10 because it's one of those few games that like I left pretty emotional. So
Yeah, I like. This is a hard one for me because
there's so much downtime in that game. That's the
it didn't
downside.
jive with me, and there's a lot of downtime, and like the mission structure gets very repetitive. Of like, go to this place, have a gallery shooting, go home. I have a plan. That's pretty much the whole.
Yeah,
But
like
they
it's
do
one
it
of those things
so
like you
well.
want to point out the acting and the storytelling. That man,
See, I wouldn't give it a 10, but I can see how someone would give it
Yeah.
a 10. So I'm
They're
not
okay
gonna.
with the world and like slowly being on a horse going from point to point stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
the story and everything, the acting, yeah, I can see it.
The story, I thought the acting was
when
good,
it's
but just-
on, it is one of the best.
Yeah.
I've only played the first 45 minutes. Runs really well on the Steam Deck.
You've only played 45. You have not even started the game, Chris. Get
No,
out of
it's
here.
still
'Cause
like
he
snow.
doesn't have 100 hours for this thing.
You've not gotten past the snow. You've not even started this game, sir.
I just finished Persona 3. I can't go into this. I need something smaller. Pick Russ, baby. Pick Russ.
Can I interest you in a Game of the Year nominee soon to be Mixtape?
Honestly, that's like 3 to 4 hours I'm in.
That's gonna be my next joke. Anytime I want to bring that game up, now I'm just gonna start calling it. Have you heard about Game of the Year nominee potentially Mixtape?
Game of the year.
And just
10
see
out of 10.
eventually just how
10
many
out of
people
10. Game of the year.
Yeah.
Next staying within 2018 is God of War, the God of War remake. This game's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that one's
Like-
a 10.
Yeah.
It's definitely perfect.
Like I said, I
pacing,
could still
perfect
make
story.
a case that maybe I'd put it at a 9, but like I still can see why.
The way they took Kratos and God of War and remade the whole thing, basically abandoning the character, like all the persona of Kratos, and made him a like struggling dad, was just amazing.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
it. They did it so well.
It is a ballsy move too.
Yeah.
And
They
this game-
humanized him instead of just whatever the fuck he was in the original games.
Yeah. Staying within 2018, Celeste.
Oh, Celeste
yeah.
is beautiful. Celeste
Yeah.
is fantastic. I played
That
through that.
if you're putting, the museum that I actually would go to, if they were putting a museum up of like some of the best indie games of all time, it's one of them. That is
yeah,
that is
easily.
for sure.
Yeah, hands down, that's a perfect 10 to me.
All right. Now moving into 2017, Super Mario Odyssey. I think that's a given. It's
yeah.
one of, if not the best Mario games.
Yeah, I would say that.
Let me think about that for a second. Yes.
Definitely the best 3D Mario. So
yeah, it's yeah.
okay. 2017's Undertale. I never played Undertale, but I know it's
Same
quite
thing.
beloved.
We'll go in the museum for
played
indie
it.
games.
Yeah, it is really, really good.
It's also a cultural phenomenon. Like
Yeah, it's extremely. Yeah, the writing's really done well.
Nice.
I'd say it's
Circling back to our conversation, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. My opinion stands.
yeah. I do
it's a
think
fu-
Tears of the Kingdom is more like a 9, and this one's more of like I guess
This is
an
an 8.
8.
This is an 8.
Nintendo up score.
Boosted by Zelda as well.
Yeah, Nintendo.
I know
Zelda.
exactly what the comments are going to be for this week's episode.
That's okay. Well, yeah, it's gonna be about Mixtape. Who are we kidding?
For sure. 2016's Inside.
That was a very good game. Very artsy too, and very cool.
I would say I would put that at a 9. I think
Yeah.
though from its kind of like really subverting your expectations, I think does really well in that aspect. So it depends on really like what you're rating it for.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't know if
puzzle
I'd call it
platformer.
a 10 though.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I'd go with 10. I loved it. Very high rating, but 10 is pretty aggressive for that game.
Yeah. Next is 2016's The Witness.
No,
Fuck
I-
puzzle
that's-
games, so that should
I-
be a 0.
I love puzzle games, and I played through it. To me, I did not find it to be a perfect 10. I've played much better walking puzzle first person type of games. Especially the ending, it got real fucking weird, and I was like, man, why is the braid guy got to do this? It
Look,
got
now
way
that
too
I've
weird.
finished well, I shouldn't say finished Blueprints. No one finishes Blueprints. Now that I've played as much as I have about Blueprints, yeah, The Witness does not even remotely come close to that.
I'd never touch it again. I wouldn't even go near it, to be honest.
Next in 2015 is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
I understand why people would disagree with the 10, but I really like that
I
game.
really like it. No?
It's
Like I
probably
said, I get why people don't.
it's probably one of the best Metal Gear Solid games, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's Kaylan, the guy who's talked about how horrible the series has been.
I didn't
Except
say they're
the
all bad.
story of the first one, maybe.
2013's Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, that's I think a no-brainer.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
that's a free space.
Even just the single player campaign, not including
Right.
the online, like the single player campaign's incredible, finishes off, and you're like, God, what a great
Well, I
game.
mean, the online, you have to at least take 5 points off based on how it ran for the first 2 months.
Yeah, I didn't play
No,
it
you know
quickly.
what? No, it gets a pass on that 2 months because that game has been going for 13 years online. It gets a pass. That's represents 0.001% of its online time.
Yeah, I agree.
2014's Last of Us Remastered. I think that's a 10 out of 10.
That's a remaster, doesn't count.
Does too. Well, you know what? The first one deserves it too, so fine.
Yeah, the first one deserves it. Is the
This
remaster
is like
like,
when-
1 month after release though? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't they just mean
Yeah.
PS4 edition because the PS4?
This is like when
It's
the
just like
Oscar.
Grand Theft Auto 6 getting the fucking best on or the most anticipated game twice. You don't get two tens
No,
because you just
this is-
remastered it.
This
Shut
is
up.
like when the no. This is like when the Oscars like forget to give like the Oscar to Leonardo DiCaprio, so they give it to his next movie. That's what this is. Like
yeah.
they realize their mistake and they're retroactively fixing it.
My brain is so out of whack that I almost said, "Oh, it's like his Cocaine Bear." I'm like, "No, Adam, that's a different bear movie." You fucking idiot."
Cocaine Bear. Yes, that Leo classic Cocaine Bear.
Leonardo's just dressed up as a bear doing lines. Just
Well, I'm thinking it's just a mixture of Wolf of Wall Street and The Revenant. It's just Cocaine Bear.
Okay, honestly, now I'm seeing it. Now that you combine those two specifically, I see it. The bear just starts doing
Next
the
time
thing.
Leo's at an Oscar award, he's just sitting there waiting for his award. He's like, "I'm not fucking leaving."
next is 2011 Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I don't think this was remembered as being a 10 out of 10.
No, that is.
You
not
want to talk about a Nintendo bump?
Yeah, that's a Nintendo bump. Like, I like it, especially on Switch when they re-released it and you didn't have to do the stupid motion controls, but it is not a 10 out of 10 Zelda.
IGN, it took us 15 years. Now we got to pull you guys aside and be like, "All right, explain."
Yeah, it was the best Wii game at the time. That
Not
year?
even probably true.
No, guaranteed not.
Well, what year did that come out? Okay, you said 2011?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to go look, while you're doing this, I'm going to go look at best Wii games in 2011.
Okay,
just
cool.
see if I can find one that I would put way above it.
2011's Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. I think this is at the time at least, the best Uncharted game. I know there's a lot of people who go on camp for Uncharted 2, but Uncharted 3
Yeah,
is
I
the best
still
one.
think 2 is the better one, but 3 is obviously still an incredible. The Uncharted series is just maybe the first one doesn't get a 10, but 2 and 3 get a 10 and 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, why wasn't 4 mentioned? Did we go past and it didn't get a 10?
Yeah, it didn't get a 10.
If this desk wasn't screwed into the wall, I would flip it right now.
Ken
Uncharted
with
4
enough
is a
effort.
10 out of 10.
So here's the funny thing. I did find one game that I would put above. Actually, 2011 was a pretty rough year for the Wii. But looking at all its reviews, there is one game I would put above it, and it's really funny. But I am dead serious when I say this: the Tiger Woods PGA games, because the Tiger Woods PGA games on Wii were actually fucking very well done. Because that was
game
back
just-
when sports games didn't suck. Because honestly, they used the Wii mode very fucking well for that game.
Yeah. They were ramping up for the Wii U, man. They didn't
They
have
were getting
time
ready.
for those other
But
games.
also, that's because Skyward Sword is at best on the Wii a 7, and that's maybe even being generous.
Yeah, on the Wii, a 7. On the Switch, an 8. That's what I would give. Yeah.
Next is 2010's Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Oh my god, that game is incredible. I don't know if I
Yeah.
give it a 10, but it was such a fun, like, talk about
I
taking
mean,
the old
in an
Pac-Man
arcade, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I played so much of that on my PC. Holy shit, I was addicted.
But guys, that means Pac-Man is as good as Elden Ring, right?
Yes.
And Mixtape.
And Mixtape.
Well, no. Mixtape's better than that. Let's be real. Mixtape is the best game ever made.
They hit the ceiling at 10. They really deserve an 11.
Yeah.
10.1.
Next is 2010's Undead Nightmare from Red Dead Redemption DLC.
That was
I never
pretty
played
fun.
that. I can see that being fun.
It's
but, yeah.
one of the better DLCs I think we ever got.
Especially in 2010. Like we
Yeah.
didn't get like amazing DLCs.
Like that
back then.
set the tone for what DLC should have been.
Yeah.
Stay with 2010 Super Mario Galaxy 2. I'm not a big fan of the Mario Galaxy series. I don't like the
They're
wide
still
mode
pretty
controls
solid.
and using like the shooting stars thing. It wasn't my thing.
It gets
I don't have any
fixed a
complaints that I
lot
could
on Switch.
put towards it being any like I could easily justify a 10. But I mean it could be anywhere in that 9 to 10 range, and I wouldn't be upset.
I've actually never played the second one. I own it on Switch because I bought 1 and 2 together.
Sounds right.
But yeah, I got to go back. I've played the first one twice and never played the second one. It's very confusing.
I tried playing.
So you
the
hate
first
Yoshi,
one.
is what I understand.
Yeah, it's got Yoshi.
Yeah, I tried playing the first one on the Wii like this year, and I'm like, this does not hold up. So, yeah. 2008 Grand Theft Auto 4.
No, absolutely not.
I feel like at the time it was getting it, but it doesn't.
Even
hold
then,
up.
I didn't get it. I didn't think it was good.
Yeah, I didn't even finish that one. I gave up after a bit. I just couldn't stand going.
I was so
forward with my
disappointed with
cousin.
that game.
Yeah.
Next is Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriot. This one does not deserve a 10.
Yeah, maybe the cutscenes were like really good for PS3.
I was going to say, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was not my thing. Granted, gonna give it full transparency. I played it as my entry level into the. I showed up to the end of the movie and said, "I don't know what's happening here. Why do I care?"
So this is also where I think a different conversation comes up too, right? This is around the time that 10s were being used a little bit more, and they were being used largely for recognition ahead. Like, there was definitely a bump that certain franchises would get. And Metal Gear at the time, I do remember thinking the same thing, because a lot of my friends who were deep into it, they didn't get the rating either. Like, they still liked it, but they were like, dude, this game is a lot
They
of
gave
shit
the
wrong
series
with
a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of series that deserve it, next is 1999's Pokemon Red and Blue. That's a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, is there
no
that
argument
big a
there.
gap?
Yeah, it goes from 1999 till 2008. There's no 10 out of 10s.
That's strange.
That is.
At least
strange,
according to the
'cause
article on IGN, and it's IGN, so.
I have to assume there would be something in there that they really liked.
They're burying the truth.
What do they not want us to know?
They're like, don't make Wind Waker a 10 out of 10. Don't make Wind Waker.
Well, they're probably hiding my review where I gave the Bouncer a 10 out of 10. So
Smash Brothers Melee, and Mario Kart Wii, and oh my God, IGN.
I mean,
was
Minecraft
that also the time?
isn't
I think they
there.
might have also still been doing like the decimal ratings back then too. So they were probably doing way more of the 9.5, 9.6s.
yeah.
yeah.
And then the last one they have on their list is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. That's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I get that, of course.
I still think it's a little overrated, but I can still understand the 10.
You shut your mouth.
No.
There you go. I'm not on the fence.
Go to a museum and get cultured, sir.
No. What do you mean? I go there all the time.
Apparently. That's what you say.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's us going through the IGN 10 out of 10 list since 2000.
I mean, like, most of them are pretty
1990.
agreeable, but again, it's also
Yeah.
the case too of like I said in my rant, both here and on my channel, it's like, guys, it's just it's one person's opinion, man.
Yeah, it means nothing.
It's like,
None of
also,
this matters.
There are games that probably should have gotten 10 and it just happened to get, like, I'm sure they're not going, oh, this person's going to be the best person to review this game. Sometimes they probably put a shooter on the desk of somebody who doesn't like shooters that much.
Yeah.
Just remember, none of it matters. We'll all die one day, and we're just flying through space on a rock.
Just remember,
Thanks, Kaylan.
just remember, Mixtape is the best game ever made.
There we go. That's a good closing argument right there. I'm going to wrap it up here. Adam, I'm hijacking the end of this show. I'm taking over as host. Thanks, everyone, for joining. If you like that, you like Adam's hot takes, you can find him on his cheating channel, Adam at CS Radical. Look for CS Radical.
Make you guys have to listen to me for 30 minutes. I'm sorry.
That's
You did it
appreciated. Man.
anyways.
Look at those pale legs. Look at them. If you like that, you want more content, you can find us wherever you get your podcast by searching for linktr.ee/pixelplay podcast. We have Discords. We have a whole bunch of other socials. You can find us, our beautiful faces on YouTube, Spotify, if you want to just hear our voices. Let your theater of the mind imagine what we look like. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We post every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same with Fridays. And then Adam does his little breakfast morning cartoon gaming hour. What are you playing this week, Adam?
Well, it was going to be last week, but obviously Mother's Day got in the way of that because I was hanging out with family. But I'm playing the OG Micro Machines racing game from like the Genesis era.
Yes.
You missed an opportunity on Mother's Day not playing like Cooking Mama for the Retro Rewind game.
He has a point.
Well, I was busy eating Mama's cooking, so
Do it with Mom.
context.
I was like, please don't say that. Please don't say that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us this week. We will see you guys next week. With that, bye for now.